Hi, everyone, and welcome to Zonk Talk, a podcast about gaming, movies, and more. Now, here's your hosts, Jacob and Will.
What's up, guys? We're here with
Hey.
another episode. And first, we're
Yeah.
going to talk about the new Deadpool and Wolverine movie. I watched the trailer for it. It looks really good. Just because
Yeah.
that ties in with what we were talking last week, along with Disney and Marvel and Gina.
That lawsuit with
Yeah,
Gina
because she's actually
Carano.
played in the first Deadpool. She was one of the antagonists.
Wasn't she the one that isn't she the guy who got into a fight with Colossus?
Yep.
in the first
I'm going to
Deadpool
assume so because I just found a video of it.
movie? Yeah, that was a really good part. That fight between her and him was really cool. When we were talking about her yesterday, I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's the same person. I'm bad with names. And I actually don't think I ever knew her name when I watched it the first time. She's not an actress that I was aware of aside from that movie.
Yeah.
But the new Deadpool movie looks great.
Oh, yeah, that new Deadpool looks great. I mean, it's going to be the same type of Deadpool. It always is. But the fact that
Yeah.
in the trailer, he calls himself the Marvel's Messiah.
I'm Marvel Jesus. The part that killed me is when they first started out and they're at the birthday party and he had hair. I was like, he looks odd with the hair, and then they ripped it off and he just has little tiny patches of hair. It's like bad weave. You need to glue it down. And then the whole trailer, I just kept. I couldn't stop looking at the little patches of hairs on his head, just sticking up in random directions. I can't wait to see it though. It looks pretty good.
Would they release it? We'd have to review it.
Ryan Reynolds and Wolverine. Did you play the Deadpool video game?
There's a Deadpool video game.
You didn't know there's a Deadpool video game?
I did not, but I'm about to
Dude,
find
you
out.
gotta go get a hold of that beast because it's super fun. It did not get enough love because I actually don't know why it didn't get enough love, because it is exactly like the movies. There's a ton of fourth wall breaks. He's hilarious. There's shit that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, I was
He's
gonna say-
constantly fucking with Cable and Wolverine throughout the whole thing. There's a mini cutscene part where Wolverine's knocked out and you can just slap the shit out of him to wake it up. To wake him up, but you just sit there hitting it over and over again, and you can hit him 100 times, just smacking the shit out of Wolverine.
Movies. I did see something about supposedly there is talk that Nicolas Cage could be in a live-action Spider-Man in the War series, but as the article that I read says, before you get too excited, talks don't always blossom into people appearing in the movies, but there is a possibility of Cage donning the fedora and chugging egg creams while slugging Nazis. Is its exact words. But the fact that that would be a Marvel film and it's talking about the Nazis really leads me to be like, that's double-sided on the whole
Yeah, you got a
Gina
point.
Carano being fired from Disney because of saying something about republics and Nazis, or not even Nazis, but the Jewish Holocaust.
As long as the movie takes place during that time and they're fighting literal Nazis and not calling people Nazis, I don't think it's a problem. Because look at Captain America. Captain America fought Red Skull. Red Skull was a Nazi. He fought the Nazis back in the day in the first movies. You see what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
okay to call a Nazi as long as they're legitimately a Nazi, like Hitler was a Nazi.
So
But
you're
to call
saying
somebody
that
else
she
who
said that
doesn't identify as a Nazi, you got a
So
problem.
you're basically saying that she was calling Democrats Nazis because she supposedly, in what we found, referred to the Republican as the Jews. So
Yeah, basically. Not only was she victimizing one group of people, but she was also calling the other people Nazis. It's terrible. You don't do that.
not at all.
Oh, but one thing that is coming up with movies, because I love a good slasher flick, is I'm pissed that we got Fan Expo in Cleveland coming up,
Yes, I can't wait. I
but
am
there's
so
another
excited.
expo that is happening down in Cincinnati around March, so I think next month, and it's the Horror Hound weekend that I want to go to so bad. There's so many huge names that are going to be there, and it's all about horror films.
So
Dude,
let's.
Henry Rollins from fucking Black Flag is going to be there.
What? I'm not trying to burst your bubble, but I don't know who that is.
I'm not that surprised. Henry Rollins is like an old school hardcore punk rocker. He was in Black Flag.
You'd like Incarceration.
What's that?
It's a big concert at Mansfield Prison.
Oh, that's cool.
With
What
a whole-
kind of stuff plays?
I'm looking up the lineup right now. They have. Do you know who Pantera is?
Do I know who Pantera is? Yes, I know who Pantera
They're
is.
having.
Dimebag Darrell is legend.
They're playing together for the first time in years at this concert this year. Pantera is reforming.
Dimebag's not.
Uh,
Dimebag was shot on stage.
Skillet will be there. Breaking Benjamin will be
Skillet.
there.
Ugh.
Bad
like
Omens,
Skillet.
Shine Down, Godsmack.
Like,
I'm just naming ones that I've actually heard of. There's a whole bunch more. The type of music you listen to, I'm sure you've at least heard of most of these people.
oh, you know how we're gonna meet? We're gonna have a chance to meet Ethan Suplee at Fan Expo,
Is that which
or
one?
Randy from
Randy?
My Name Is Earl.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't know his real name, but yeah.
He is actually going to be coming from Cincinnati Horror Hound Weekend to the Fan Expo in Cleveland. So he's actually coming from this one to that one. So he's going to be at this one too. I want to go next year. I swear
He was
to God,
in American History X.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he was in American
Yeah,
History
he was.
X.
That's what
Butterfly Effect.
Yeah, it gives him. I didn't know that.
He's in a lot of stuff. The list of people that are going to be there is so crazy. You know who Mick Foley is?
Isn't that like?
He was a professional wrestler.
I feel like
He's
I
gonna
would
be there.
know him to see him.
He was Mankind, the guy who wore like the leather
Yes,
thing on his
I know
face
who
and
you're
put a
talking
dirty
about.
sock on his hand with a face on it and shove his sock in people's mouths and called it Socko. He was one of my favorite wrestlers. I don't even really care about wrestling, but I love Mankind.
Courage the Cowardly Dog will be there.
No way.
Yeah,
You're fucking with me.
I swear to God.
The Courage the Cowardly Dog, like the chubby
Jeff
guy who plays the
Brennan.
voice of Courage the Cowardly Dog?
Yeah, he's supposed to be there.
No way.
He's under the list as a special guest.
I don't see
It says Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Jeff Brennan. I'm butchering this name. I'm not even gonna try. Just
Wait,
gonna call him Courage.
he's not the voice, he's the artist.
He's the artist.
I'm pretty sure he's the artist.
I guess Courage doesn't have a voice, but
No, he does. He's a chubby guy. I've seen
no,
all-
but Courage talks. But Courage, I feel like I don't ever remember him. Not a lot.
there's a dude who does all the moans and stuff.
There's a tattoo artist I'd really like to check out, but I'm not gonna have the money.
Yeah, he's like the artist. That's still pretty cool though. I love Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yes,
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
there's gonna be some.
The artist that originally did Fairly Odd Parents is going to be there too.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's gonna be a lot of cool people there this year.
I want to talk to the game voice actors really bad
did
because
you-
I've always been so curious on how you get into that.
Ash Ketchum is gonna be there.
Yeah, Sarah's pumped. She's going to dress up as Ash Ketchum.
That doesn't surprise me. Naruto will be there. Oh,
I'm
well,
so excited to meet Jason Lee. It's not even funny.
Yeah, me too. We should probably keep this pushing. Our next topic.
Oh yeah, I was
for
trying to work
today-
my way into games by saying I
that's
wanted to
actually-
meet the voice actors in games.
Yeah, that's where I was going. Our next topic is actually going to be on games. I was reading something that apparently they were gonna come out with a Nintendo Switch 2. I also read in a whole nother article that was posted about it, published an hour ago, that
Jeez.
the Nintendo stock prices have dropped 8.8% in Japan after the rumors there's a delay for the Switch 2. But they still remain confident that Nintendo's market potential is going to be great with upcoming releases, because I guess they're releasing a Princess Peach Showtime game. But they're also recommending that it might be a great time to buy into the Nintendo stocks, because Nintendo stocks are currently low. So if you're somebody who does stocks, look into that.
I wish I did. I don't have the money. But I love Nintendo. I love how they just do what they do. They just totally ignore whatever Xbox and PlayStation. They can do whatever the fuck they want. They're like, we're gonna do us.
On Holland America, experience the best of Alaska.
I was saying
Enjoy up to
Xbox has
40%
basically gotten rid of all of its exclusives.
and
So
more.
now people are like saying that they think that Xbox is just and Microsoft is totally dropping out of the console wars altogether now and just letting
Yeah, I was gonna say,
PlayStation
tell
win.
me about that, because I did not know about that. Also,
You didn't know about that?
I didn't know they were dropping out of the console wars, but I also didn't know that they just recently, here within the last month, January 25th is when this tweet I'm looking at, or X post, whatever it's called now, I don't know what it's called, was posted. Apparently, Microsoft laid off a lot of people, roughly about 1,900 people is what the article I read said, but also including, I believe he might be the president, Mike Ybarra. He said after 20 years of being with Microsoft, he's going to basically be going once again to be a fan from the outside. So he will, I'm going to assume now is no longer part of Microsoft, along with all the people they laid off. Now, whether he got laid off or whether he just decided to leave too, it does not really say, but he's not there either.
Yeah, I just heard they're not focusing anything on games anymore. They're pretty much pulling out of the whole idea of developing games and becoming more of a third-party production, which is really sad.
It is, because how does that work? They got
Now there's
Microsoft is
literally
computers
no reason to
too.
buy an Xbox now.
But Microsoft is computers, or does that mean they're just not going to produce any computer? Like, I guess there's
No,
other companies
they'll
to
still
make.
make games. They're just not going to make any more consoles. Like they're still going to keep releasing games, but they're going to release the games to everything instead of being like, we made a console, you can only play it on our console. Now they're like, we're going to stop making the console, and now we're just going to focus on making games, and you can play the game on whatever.
Realistically, what else are they going to do for console? I could see maybe 10 years down the road, and when we advance and stuff, adding another console and a better console, but...
Yeah, but on the other hand, I was just reading about how they're talking about trying to release the PS6 by 2028. So that's only 4 years.
In my opinion,
So
the PlayStation
is
I
just
feel
going to
like...
go undefeated. They're literally just going to go. Nobody's going to rival them now. What,
No.
Nintendo with the Switch? I don't think so.
Not even
Steam Deck? I don't
necessarily
think so.
that, but I feel like the PlayStation, from what I get, functions more as if as a computer. Like, you can do more on
it
it
has a lot of
like a
computing
computer
power.
than you could do on an Xbox. Now, mind you, I only have the Series S. I don't have the Series X, so there might be a big difference. I know one you can put discs in and one you can't, but...
I honestly have not even touched a PS5 yet, so
I haven't seen any of the PlayStation 5s. I would
I
love
haven't touched.
to...
I haven't touched one of the new Xboxes yet either. Actually,
I only have my Xbox because basically my old job, I got a Christmas bonus and I used it to buy the Xbox that was on sale.
I built a PC and I haven't really messed with consoles ever since the Xbox One.
I play them both.
I use the crap out of my Xbox One.
Yeah,
It's almost like a Netflix machine at this point.
I like my new Xbox because a lot of my games I can... The reason I like my Xbox is because a lot of my games I can play on my Xbox. So if I'm ever going somewhere, if I wanted to go on a trip, I can't really... I mean, I could, but it wouldn't be the most logical move to just take my desktop. So I could just take my Xbox and most of my games are there. And nowadays, most of these games you can link to each other. So whether you can play cross console or not, you can have the same account. Like my Yu-Gi-Oh game that I play, I have the same account with the same cards across all of my everything. My Xbox, my computer, and my phone.
Did I ever tell you about my legendary Xbox 360 that I dragged through a third world country?
I have heard stories that you took an Xbox 360 to Afghanistan.
Oh yeah. I went on deployment. I packed that thing up and I carried it with me the whole deployment. We had to steal TVs from places and stuff to get it hooked up because nobody had TVs. But I played Call of Duty Black Ops 2 for the first time right after it was released because they sent us free copies of it while we were deployed because somebody sent a letter to the company. And that's how I first played it, was overseas in Afghanistan. So I played combat games in a combat zone. It was fun. It's also how I watched a lot of movies for the first time, too. That Xbox, I'm telling you, if I hated the Red Ring of Death. Everybody talks about how the 360 was terrible for the Red Ring of Death. But if the new consoles were even a quarter of as durable as the 360 was, they would probably hold out a lot better. Because what was it? People are having issues with the PS5 and having them set up right, and they have the thermal paste on the, I think it's the CPU. It's either the CPU or the GPU part of it. When it overheats, sitting upright, all of the thermal paste will start to melt and then go to one side of it. So now people's PS5s are overheating because they have them sitting upright and they didn't realize that pulls to one side. But ooh, buddy, I done filled a 360 up with dirt and crap, and that thing still run for, I think I brought it home from Afghanistan and it ran for 2 years after that still. Try that, PlayStation. I bet I could have done the same thing with the PS2 though, to be honest. Are you there?
Yeah, I was getting zonked.
Yeah.
In here. Do you have any other things? I think there was a couple other things that you were talking about.
We've gotten to the and more.
Yeah, we've got to the end and more. There were some other things. I should make it known, because I did tell you guys in our last episode that I would be playing the finals and watching Shane Gillis between our next episodes. There's only been about a 2-day gap between the recordings of these episodes. So I have not been able to get that. So look for that in our third episode.
I have one other podcaster / comedian, if you haven't heard of yet, to look up if you're going to look up Shane Gillis too. His name's Theo Vaughn. Have you heard of him yet?
Nope.
Dude is funny as shit. He rocks a mullet. He looks like he came straight out of a Midwest trailer park. I think he's from Arizona or something. Dude's funny as hell. So if you're going to look up Shane, you might as well look up Theo too.
Thanks for listening, and for the full episode, visit our Spotify. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Deuces Zonkers.